It's time for Inside the Patch with your Las Vegas Raiders. Here's Gnarley Charley.
You just joined us. It's Inside the Patch. I'm Gnarley Charley, and we are 1430 ESPN, your Valley sports leader. Up the road in Derek Carr's hometown of Bakersfield, we've got my buddy Danny Hill. He's worked in Fresno and radio and done a lot of things. And Danny Hill, who kind of looks like Max Crosby, are you Max Crosby's father?
Max Crosby is my illegitimate son, and I am so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. Daddy wants you to come home. Give me a big old kiss on Thanksgiving and Christmas are right around the corner.
If you're not dressing as Max Crosby for Halloween, you're not trying, Danny.
I don't have to go as Max Crosby. I'm going to go as Mr. Crosby, but not Bill, because that guy's in jail.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think that's a great idea.
Oh, right? They're like, who are you?
Danny Hill used to host Inside the Patch with me 15 million years ago, and now you're in Bakersfield doing all kinds of stuff. You got like 19 radio stations, or what do you do?
Yeah, I own radio stations, and I'm syndicated in multiple markets, and I'm a wedding DJ. That never ends.
No.
I'm everything.
And you breed NFL players like Max Crosby, so that's great.
And I'm Bill Crosby, Max Crosby's father.
Yeah, I know.
And you know what I always tell Max? I always tell him, "Wouldn't you like some Jello pudding?"
That's perfect.
Oh, got to get the Jello pudding.
Put the pills in the people. All right, so I know you're a diehard Raider fan. Chargers, Raiders this week. What are you worried about? What are you excited about?
I'm excited for the Raiders to beat them. I'm excited that they're going to beat them a lot. What I'm worried about is that they beat them so much that they end up quitting the NFL and going back to the minor leagues where they belong. Maybe playing Bullard High, right?
Yes.
Fresno, maybe one of those teams. And honestly, I believe Bullard would still take the Chargers out in that competition.
So you're not biased by any means. That is a straight strategic plan based on numbers and scales and crunching things. Yes, that's perfect.
Look, let me just tell you, we beat the Chargers last year. Remember that? And that was before Devontae Adams. Like, we already know Herbert. Everyone keeps talking about how great Herbert is. Sherbert. No one cares.
Good hair. He does have good hair.
He has great hair, and he seems like a nice guy. He's way better than Drew Brees. Remember how crappy Drew Brees was?
Yeah.
Not Drew Brees. What was the name?
You're talking about Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, he was so annoying. He was like an annoying version of Tom Brady that didn't win. Right? Yeah. Like he
right.
He'd always whine, and he had no championships to back his whininess. So I think, honestly, Herbert is a decent quarterback. I do. I think the Chargers have a decent defense.
Right.
I don't think their offense is there yet. And I think if Herbert thinks he's just going to scramble around and make things happen, he is not the Chiefs. The Chiefs can kind of pull that off. Herbert, not so much. I'm not worried about the Chargers this year. Here's what I think the pecking order is. I think it's going to be, and this is honest to God truth, I think it's going to be number one in the AFC West is going to be the Chiefs or the Raiders. I'm hoping it's the Raiders, but it's going to be Chiefs, Raiders. Then you're looking at number 2 and 3, or fighting it out for 3 is going to be the Chargers, and dead last is going to be Denver. I don't think Russell Wilson is the answer for anything. It's like, they brought him in, and he's already mad. I don't know if you saw the reports, because they talked that they were trying to get other people before they got him.
Wilson's great if you're on an island and you have no companions and you fight a volleyball. And
then he is A-okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Danny Hill, Inside the Patch. I think we've really solved it now. We know it's Raiders.
So, okay, you got Derek Carr, right? He's from Fresno. And he's got his best buddy who he's been hanging out with. You got Devontae Adams. Then you got Hunter Renfrow. Arguably the top 3 slot receivers in the NFL. I'll say that. Top 3. Then you've got Darren Waller.
Hello.
Arguably top 3 tight ends.
Who are you going to guard?
That, and that's the thing is, this is always the advantage that the Chiefs had when they were playing football, is if you double teamed Kelsey, then you left Tyreek Hill wide open because you couldn't have one person on Hill. Right. And you can't double team everybody. And if they double teamed both of those guys, then Chase Edwards, Olaire or whatever, would go running out the back, and he'd take you down for 30 yards. And if all that was taken, then you had Patrick Mahomes, who could also run another 20, 30. I think that when they got rid of Tyreek, that eliminates that option. So now you can double team Kelsey, no problem, all day long. Whoever the new guy is, nobody knows, doesn't matter. He's not going to be Tyreek Hill. I mean, that guy was amazing. So now I think they're beatable by a lot of different teams. And you put the Raiders out there. You've now got Raiders with an amazing defensive end between Max Crosby, my son, and you got the other guy that just got in. What is his name?
Chandler
Jones. Okay, it is Chandler Jones, right? He's an all-pro guy. The only weakness I can see really is cornerbacks. That's always our weakest spot on the Raiders is cornerbacks. But they seem to be doing okay this year. So I don't think the Chargers have an impact. I mean, damn, they lost to Dallas in preseason.
Dude, that's preseason. Half those guys aren't even on the team now.
I don't see the Chargers. I see them having a good year. Everybody in this division is going to have a good year. But inside the division, they're third place.
I agree.
Broncos are fourth. Raiders probably second. Kansas City probably number one. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
I think we're going to win. I think we're going to win because I think first play from scrimmage is going to be a Devontae Adams touchdown. Everybody go, oh, crap. It's real. Because everything's going to get rid of the ball quick, and he's just going to throw it deep, and it's on.
Yeah.
That's my call. Thank you, Danny Hill. Oh, my goodness. And he does look like Max Crosby. Be great. All right. So the mascots, you've seen them, the crazy makeup-wearing, over-the-top Halloween store look-alike mascots that we have at the Raider games. I mean, honestly, it looks like every Raider game is like they stopped off at the Halloween store on the way. Well, we've got Tom Grim Raider. His name is Grim Raider. You've seen him in the stands. He's always on the TV. And he's also got some Valley roots. I met him here in Fresno at Club One Casino playing poker. So I know this guy, and he's going to join us right now. Raider superfan Grim. What's happening, man?
Man, a whole lot going on in this household, man. Besides football season coming up and all my kids I got at the house and sports.
Well, okay, I've known you from California days. That's when I met you. And you just told me that you are now an official, what is the title you have now?
I got drafted last year into the PFUFA. It is Pro Football's Ultimate Fan Association. It's associated with the Hall of Fame. When we go out there, we do a lot of stuff with the Hall of Fame. We do a lot of they have a lot of fan interactions that they do at the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. And we have our breakfast there. We're not a part of the Hall of Fame, but that's where we do all of our reunion and everything like that. And it's just a group of fans from every team.
Well, how many Raider Hall of Fame fans are there, roughly? If you were to guess?
I know of 7 personally. We've been doing PFUFA for 20 years now, and it's separate from the Hall of Fame, but everything we do is at the Hall of Fame. And they've asked us to, we come in, we pump up some of the fans during some of their events they have going on, and they ask us to go out and do meet and greets with some of the fans out there that are there for Hall of Fame weekend.
How long does it take you to put all that on?
Man, I got it down to about 40 minutes. When I first started doing it, hour and a half, 2 hours. And those early morning games were brutal, but I got it down to about 40 minutes now, start to finish.
And since I've met you, I now look for you at the games, and there's been a bunch like crucial plays where you're right. I'm looking at the black hole. There you are, just standing there. I go, there he is.
Man, I'll tell you, one of the best memories I have is Khalil Mack jumping into my arms when he did the pick 6 against Cam Newton, and just locked eyes with him, just deadlocked eyes. And I knew right where he was coming. Just come on, baby.
I love Khalil Mack, but this week, if he does jump into the stands, will you just throw him back?
We're swatting him down just to bat it past.
All right. So the Chargers this week, you're not just a fan. I mean, you're like an ultimate fan. You follow the team, the team, you do great things for charities. So talk about the game this week.
Man, this week's going to be a rough one. Obviously, we had the Chargers number at the end of the season. That was a huge game. And seeing that little smirk on Derek Carr's face as he called that timeout to kick that game-winning field goal just cemented like that. That was the moment of our season right there. Yeah. But, man, that was a tough game. And now the Chargers boosted up their defense, but we boosted up that offense too. So it's definitely, I think it's going to be a punch-for-punch game. And definitely a great start to the season to see where both teams are going to be.
Well, I know you have roots in Fresno, and I call them the Fresno State Raiders because of Devontae Adams and Derek Carr. How's the season feel right now before we've played one game?
I'd love to be one of the fans that goes out there and says, this is our year, Super Bowl this year. I'm a realist. We got a lot of pieces that we put together this year, and we got one tough division. And this AFC West is insane. And so going out, I hope we just get the pieces together, have a solid season, make a deep run in the playoffs. If we make it all the way, awesome, great. But I'm not going to go from the beginning and just say, this is our year. We're winning the Super Bowl. We're doing it this year. We put a lot of good pieces together. Now it's just a matter of whether they fit together at the end.
I'll tell you, my cardiologist said, you need to switch teams because every 2 minutes left in every Raider game, my heart's just going crazy.
Every Raider fan, every real Raider fan that watches the games all the way through, I guarantee in the last 2 seasons, we've lost 10 years of our lifespan.
Here we go again. At least I feel a little bit better about the defense this year. I remember a couple years back, I'm like, oh, shoot, we left 40 seconds on. We're in trouble. You know what I mean? So I feel
that's
better.
What happened with Miami last year.
Well, man, I'm looking forward to having you on. You're going to be on every week. You're going to maybe bring some of your friends by.
So I changed my focus, and I've been doing a lot of stuff with kids with cancer. And that's been really, man, that it's life-changing. Just one time seeing a kid that is going through those struggles and you walk in the room and their eyes light up, man, it's.
Well, just like Derek Carr, we're big supporters of Valley Children's Hospital. Right now, if you text the word gnarly, Gnarley, to the number 51555, you just made yourself a $10 donation to Valley Children's Hospital. I encourage you to do that right now. It's super easy, and it's done.
This is Grim Raider, and you're listening to Inside the Patch with Gnarly Charley on 1430 ESPN.
We'll be back with more Inside the Patch on 1430 ESPN, your official home of the Las Vegas Raiders.